Good evening. I am John William Martin, and I am a roving reporter for WPGS News. Today's date is Wednesday, April 3rd, 2013, and a lot is going on in our world today. Events taking place now are a result of our history. Let's talk about history, specifically World War II. The world would be a much different place today if the Allies hadn't won. Today, let's travel back in time to the U.S. in 1905 and learn more about tanks the Allies used and the ones the enemy used. Tanks were an important part of the war and were used for many different reasons. They were used to spearhead attacks of the enemy lines so that friendly forces could pour through the breach. There were heavy tanks for assault, but there were also airborne tanks for paratroopers, amphibious tanks for Marines, and light tanks for different light armor duties. Let's take a trip back and find out more. Of course, when we get there, things will look a little different. There was no TV or internet in 1945, so come with me and we'll listen in. American and in many foreign lands. By shortwave broadcasts, we bring you first-hand news from the world's political and battlefronts. This is John William Martin reporting. Today we'll be talking about the opportunity to learn about some of the tanks our brave soldiers are facing during these fierce battles, as well as the tanks the Allied forces used during defeat the enemy. Let's start with the German tanks such as the Jag Panther. This tank saw action on both eastern and western front of the war. This tank became equipped with some heavy firepower and 8.8cm WK-43 cannon. This firepower makes it one of the top 10 tank destroyers of World War II. Next is the WWII Panther. This was a medium-sized German tank. This tank was known for its mobility and its firepower. It was made to fight the T-34, a Soviet tank. It protected the soldiers inside so well that other nations tried to copy it. Many believe the Panther was one of the top tank designs of the war. The Tiger I and Tiger II were heavy German tanks with its 8mm gun. The Tiger I was effective against both air targets and ground targets. The Tiger II also had heavy armor and a powerful gun. It could beat every Allied tank in a head-to-head battle. Now let's move on to the great Allied tanks of the war. Our American M4 Sherman tank was the most popular tank of the war. It was extremely effective in taking out enemy infantry. The main gun mounted on the Sherman tank was a 75mm M3L40, and it allowed the crew to be very accurate when firing, even while moving. More than 50,000 M4 Sherman tanks were made during World War II. 50,000. Our American forces also used the M-Tank Destroyer. It was called this because of its large cannon. Wonder how large. This tank was very mobile and effective against the enemy. Our allies, the Brits, used a tank similar to our M4 Sherman. It was called the Sherman Firefly. The Brits armed this tank with their powerful anti-tank gun. Well, the British 17-pounder, this was the only British tank able to defeat both the German Panther and the Tiger tanks. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry I didn't get to go through all the tanks. We only had one more, but I am sorry. Time is time, and time is money. We know now more about the tanks used in this war. Thank you for turning in to World News Today. Once again, we are brought to you by Admiral Corporation, makers of Admiral Radio. This is John William Martin reporting. Good day, everybody! Woo!